Hello, everybody, and welcome to the X Factor with the Crypto Hipster. This is episode 26 for the week ending Friday, February 10, 2023. Welcome to another episode of the X Factor. We do this weekly. I bring you the news, crypto news from around the world, once information and news that is of importance to know. And I always start talking about global issues first. And this issue we're going to kick off with today is a global report. So it's about DApp Radar. DApp Radar has created a report that shows DeFi, decentralized finance, has enjoyed a prolific start to 2023. Centralized finance has not, but we will get into that in a little bit. First of all, we want to say DeFi protocols globally have seen significant growth in TVL, which is total value locked. And the top TVL DeFi platform has been Lido, but there are several others. Decentralized finance protocols experienced a boom in total value locked across different staking pools in January. Not the Gary Gensler stake he talks about, which is STEAK, but rather STAKE stake. It's done well. Okay, the market hit 74.6 billion worth of staked assets in crypto globally, increasing by 26% from December, just 1 month later. In its latest monthly report, DApp Radar outlined the growth of the DeFi sector alongside rejuvenated non-fungible token markets that have also had upticks in trading volume and sales. Let me tell you a little bit something about DApp Radar. They've impressed me the whole entire time I've been in crypto. DApp Radar has been a top reporter, researcher, analytics, you name it. They are top shelf when it comes to providing analytics and research and reports. They're excellent. So optimism has emerged as the top DeFi performer, seeing 57.44% increase in total value locked, up to 808 million. Blockchain analyst Sarah Gargalas has said that Optimism's transaction volumes were likely driven by a learn to earn incentives program that ended midway through January. That's an important concept and idea is learn to earn because no one has a manual on DeFi, but DeFi is the path that's working well and has not been subject to SEC overreach. A sudden drop in daily transactions, yeah, that's not important. Solana. Solana saw a 57% increase in its TVL. And it's not all positive Solana because the prices came down in December, but they went back up and they've been doing well. And I don't need to talk about price, but there was a lack of liquidity somewhere in between the month, but it recovered. Ethereum is having an upcoming Shanghai upgrade, and that's expected to drive staking in the DeFi. Due to expected opening of withdrawals from Ethereum staking contracts. And Lido Finance flipped MakerDAO as the largest DeFi protocol in January, driven by the popularity of liquid staking derivative protocols. That's great. DeFi globally is doing well, and not your keys, not your crypto. And DeFi is your keys and your crypto. So more people should learn to use DeFi, and that includes me too, because I had DeFi tokens and I put them on a CeFi platform, and that was a mistake. But we live and learn. And I know I mentioned Gary Gensler, so let's get into that. Okay, a little bit. All right. He's being called the agent of an anti-crypto agenda. Possibly. Let's look at it. Let's look at what happened with Kraken. Okay, members of the crypto community seem outraged. I'm kind of outraged too over the recent charges laid against crypto exchange Kraken in relation to its staking as a service program in the U.S. On February 9, yesterday, the U.S. SEC announced it had settled charges with Kraken over failing to register the offer and sale of their crypto asset staking as a service program. which it claims is qualified as securities under its purview. Kraken agreed to settle the charges by paying $30 million in fines and to immediately cease offering staking services to U.S. retail investors, though they will continue to be offered offshore. The move appears to have attracted the ire of not only the general crypto community, but also of investors, politicians, and industry executives. Um, yeah, so let's talk about that right now. Gensler, they're saying Adam Cochran on Twitter has said Gensler is not a regulator. He's an agent of anti-crypto agenda who only aims to wield his power as a cudgel for those he doesn't agree with. I don't necessarily agree. I mean, he's pretty much 95% awful. But he said, there is some benefit to what he said. Not your keys, not your crypto, and want to protect investors. I mean, as somebody who put his, who watched Judge Glenn with Celsius say that everything that we put onto Celsius platform belongs to Celsius. That's robbery. At the I didn't put my platform. People didn't put their tokens on this site and expect to hand them to someone else. And so that is the area of protection. Other than that, is it an anti-crypto narrative? It seems to be more hostile in the U.S. than other places in the world, definitely. But so I ask you, let me know your thoughts. Let me know your thoughts on this. I'm interested to know. I'm listening to everybody. My, perspective is, yeah, we want to make sure that there is regulation, but it's got to be done properly. And regulation by enforcement after the fact is never the right answer. So what's the appropriate and correct answer, and how do we get there, and what needs to happen in order to get there? Let me know your thoughts. And then also let me know your thoughts about DeFi, because if you're shutting down the yield on CeFi, DeFi may be the right path to go down, and people should know more about DeFi. And let me know your thoughts. And that's what's going to happen. So let's talk about also another regulatory issue. All right. Stablecoin issuer Paxos. Paxos has a Paxos dollar, right? It's reportedly being probed by the New York regulators, right? So Paxos Trust Company is a New York-based stablecoin issuer behind the Binance Dollar and the Paxos Dollar USDP, and it's being investigated by the New York Department of Financial Services. A person familiar with the matter always says these kind of things, but there are all kinds of people familiar with all kinds of things, and they might not have the facts. But let's check it out. The spokesperson at NYDFS declined to comment on ongoing investigations, but noted that the department is broadly working to protect consumers from risks associated with investing in the cryptocurrency market. Paxos has issued BUSD, a US dollar collateralized stablecoin, since the firm struck a partnership with Binance in September 2019. So this is going on 4 years or 3.5 years. It's the third largest stablecoin with a market cap currently exceeding $16 billion. The creator of the Paxos dollar said it is the sixth largest stablecoin, according to CoinGecko. Okay. And the company is behind the digital asset exchange, Bit. All right. So we'll keep you apprised on what is happening there. But let's talk about something else, and let's go and talk about Kraken. Well, we mentioned Kraken already, but let's get into the facts with Kraken. Okay, Kraken reaches $30 million settlement with the SEC over staking as the IRS seeks user information. Okay, so now the IRS is looking to see who's the users here. The SEC said it had charged Kraken with failing to register the offer and sale of the crypto asset staking as a service program, right? And the crypto firm agreed to cease operations and pay the fine. But Kraken not only offered investors outsized returns untethered to any economic realities, but also retained the right to pay them no returns at all, said the SEC's Division of Enforcement Director Gerbir Grewell. All the while, it provided them zero insight into its financial condition. Right. So, the SEC's complaint says that Kraken had been offering its crypto staking services to users in the US since 2019 in an easy to use platform benefits. So it looks to me like the regular, like the governance in the US want retail investors to buy scratch off lottery tickets and have full on risk instead of getting a planned return or a return that exceeds the returns offered to you by banks, which is 0.25% per year. And they're looking to protect the banks. And, it goes back to DeFi. It goes back to DeFi, okay? Use decentralized finance protocols where you're in control of your coins at all times while you're earning yield instead of going and relying on a centralized exchange. And but let's talk about banks because I wanted to talk about banks, and it's tying into the next insight, next article. Banks are under pressure from U.S. authorities to cut ties with crypto firms. Okay, now we get into the banks. U.S. authorities appear to be resurrecting past techniques, cheating, lying, stealing, to crack down on crypto firms and banks offering services to the industry. The alleged strategy consists of isolating the traditional financial system from the crypto market by relying on multiple agencies to discourage banks from dealing with crypto firms, with the goal of leading crypto businesses to become completely unbanked. According to Nick Carter, the co-founder of venture capital Castle Island and crypto intelligence firm Coinmetrics, said that the claims rely on conversations Carter had with bank executives, including crypto native and traditional banks. He says, they tell me they are facing immense pressure from the Fed, Federal Reserve, of course, and FDIC, of course. Founders are telling me that they can't get their bank accounts anywhere for new startups. So you're trying to cut off and isolate innovation and continue to do these old tactics and techniques that will preserve the extincting, going to be extinct traditional financial structures. And elsewhere in the world, Switzerland, Singapore, everything is humming, man. They're doing really well in innovation, and you're going to leave the U.S. behind. That's your choice. But hey, um, let's talk about something else, okay? And let me know. Well, let me know your thoughts about cutting off the head of the Hydra and uh, how that's going to go for the old school people who don't know the first thing about technology. Okay, so let's go to Europe. I'm going to get out of the U.S. because U.S. is nothing but disappointing news this week. London emerges as the world's most crypto-ready city for business. Go with your bad self, London. Awesome. Okay. Along with pro-crypto regulations, mainstream adoption of cryptocurrencies requires a supporting infrastructure that can allow the general public access and exposure to the ecosystem. When considering 8 key indicators around taxes, ATMs, jobs, and events in crypto, London stands at the top as the most crypto-ready city in the world for business and startups. UK's Prime Minister Rishi Sunak's vision to ensure the UK financial services industry is always at the forefront of technology and innovation is on the right path. Research conducted by Recap shows. An examination of 8 key data points determined London to sport the highest crypto readiness to entice businesses and startups. So let's see what this list is. The top 20 crypto hub cities. Number 1, London. 2, Dubai. 3 is New York City. Surprise. 4 Singapore, 5 LA, then Zug, Hong Kong, Paris, Vancouver, and Bangkok rang out the top 10. 11 through 15 are Chicago, Berlin, Sapporo, Lagos, and Lisbon. And then 16 through 20 are Kuwait City, Tehran, Sydney, Osaka, and KL. And KL is really cool. I've been there. Kuala Lumpur, really cool. I've been there. I didn't know there were 20, but hey, good. The largest metropolitan cities are positioned really well, and some key facts to consider. They considered again in the study were events, jobs, crypto companies, the number of crypto ATMs, and some of the non-crypto considerations were quality of life, research, development, and spending as a percentage of GDP, and capital gains tax rate. That seems like pretty in-depth and intense. Congratulations to you, London. I hope to get over there someday. I have never been to London, and I heard have a really awesome bridge, so I'm looking forward to it someday. So let's go. Let's go and stay in Europe and talk about Russia. Russia's government subsidizes crypto mining facility in Siberia. Well, they mine Bitcoin in Siberia. The crypto mining industry has faced moratoriums in some parts of the US and Canada in recent months. Now, Russia provides tax incentives for those who want to invest in crypto mining. With the government's direct support, the new $12 million crypto mining center will open in East Siberia. They have snow there. According to local media, the state-owned Corporation for the Development of the Far East announced the launch of the crypto mining center in Buryatia, a republic in East Siberia and part of the Russian Federation. The facility will possess 30,000 mining machines, hire 100 workers, and consume 100 megawatts from the power grid. It will open in the first half of 2023 and be owned and run by BitRiver, Russia's largest crypto mining colocation services supplier. The mining center will enjoy a broad set of incentives from zero land and property taxes to a lowered income tax rate. Electricity prices will be cut in half for the mining operators. Okay. We in the US can't go there to do that. But hey, let's talk about, let's see. Let's go to Asia. Okay, the first Asian country I want to talk about is India. Okay, and it is this. India is in no hurry for the CBDC as Digital Ruby pilot onboards 50,000 users. Okay, that seems like a lot. The Indian government doesn't want to rush its central bank digital currency pilot despite joining the CBDC race just a few months ago. The India's recently launched CBDC pilot has amassed 50,000 users and 5,000 merchants since the Reserve Bank of India launched the Digital Rupee pilot last year. Announcing the first public milestones of India digital currency at a press conference, the RBI Deputy Governor Ravi Shankar stressed that the government plans to proceed with CBDC testing in the smoothest way possible. CBDC smooth. We have our targets in terms of users, he says, in terms of merchants. We will go slowly, Sankar stated, noting that the RBI doesn't want to push CBDC developments without having full awareness of the potential impact. All right. Well, doing well so far. So we'll see how it continues. The next place I want to go is going to be Singapore. All right. So these guys are back. 3AC has launched a new exchange, and it triggers backlash from the crypto community. No, thank you. And I'll tell you, 3AC, no, thank you. The launch of the exchange project backed by the bankrupt hedge fund, 3 Arrows Capital, attracted a mob of angry community members who took to Twitter, expressing their disappointment with the state of the crypto space. Open Exchange, a crypto exchange project that 3AC and CoinFlex initially proposed, launched a website and opened a waitlist on February 9th, yesterday. 3AC founder Zhu Su pointed at the project as a way to atone for the past mistakes. However, many members of the community were enraged by the launch. One community member questioned by the name of the exchange and suggested it may lead to a scam. A scam. Let's see. They want to atone for their scam with another scam. According to another community member, let's see, it's where community members are saying all kinds of stuff about them. One is this: I don't care how good the freebies are, how good the liquidation mechanism is, or how good the funding arbs will be. Yeah, you know, you want to, the way that you atone is by paying it back, or by doing dishes, or by doing hard labor, or doing time, not by collecting more money and trying it again. Sometimes, we lose touch with reality and with the impact on others. So I don't know. I'm not putting my money there. Are you? Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your thoughts on each of the articles I talked about so far today. Do you want to go to Siberia and mine Bitcoin? Do you want to give your money to a proven failed hedge fund and watch them fail with your money again? Let me know your thoughts. Hey, so let's go to South Korea. South Korea and North Korea. South Korea sets independent sanctions for crypto theft against North Korea. Here we go. All right. South Korea has announced its first independent sanctions related to cryptocurrency thefts and cyber attacks against specific North Korean groups and individuals. According to Seoul's Ministry of Foreign Affairs, 4 North Korean individuals and 7 businesses have been placed on a blacklist for their alleged involvement in cyber attacks and cryptocurrency theft. The blacklisted individuals include the infamous Park Jin-hyuk, Jo Myung-rae, Song Rim, and Oh Chung-song. The most notorious of the 4 leaders, Park, works in information technology for the Chosun Expo joint venture, a front company connected to the Lazarus Group in North Korea. He is well known for participating in the WannaCry ransomware assault in 2017 and the cyber attack on Sony Pictures Entertainment in November 2014. The U.S. Treasury placed him on a blacklist in 2018. And if you go online, there's a picture. It says wanted by the FBI. Park Jin-hyuk. Conspiracy to commit wire fraud and bank fraud. Conspiracy to commit computer-related fraud. Computer intrusion. Ew. Let me know your thoughts about him, about the North Korean hacker groups, Lazarus Group. Let me know your thoughts on that matter. And then let's go to a country that's really beautiful. Okay. It's a really beautiful country. It's Laos. Okay. Laos. Not Laos. It's Laos. The Laotian CBDC proof of concept project to be launched using a system pioneered in Cambodia, which is another beautiful country because of Angkor Wat. Japanese financial services software firm Soramitsu has announced the signing of a memorandum of understanding with the Bank of Laos People Democratic Republic Payment System Department. That's a lot. On the launch of a proof of concept project for a Laotian central bank digital currency. Under the agreement, a digital form of the Lao KIP called the DLAC would launch on February 7. According to an explanatory video, the central bank would provide DLAC to commercial banks in exchange for fiat currency, and the user would exchange fiat for DLAC from the commercial bank. The user would then make purchases from participating sellers using a QR code and an app. DLAC would be instantly converted to fiat by a commercial bank, making it possible for sellers to receive payment in real time. Previously, a digital transaction in Laos took up to a month to clear. So this is definitely innovation, efficiency, automation, all those wonderful things that happen with the latest technology, Gary Gensler. So let me know your thoughts on that. And then let's talk about Sri Lanka. I'm going to stay in Asia or go one more place. Well, it's really, central bank. Is it Asia? Is it Middle East? This is Sri Lanka. Um, on a recent visit to Sri Lanka, American billionaire Tim Draper he pitched this idea of adopting Bitcoin, and he was rejected. They rejected his anti-corruption pitch. Really interesting. Um, he says Bitcoin is a legal tender to fight against corruption that contributed to hyperinflation in the island country. However, a key Sri Lankan authority, a central bank governor, not let me get this right, Nandalal Weerasinghe, believed doing so would worsen the country's economic situation. During taking time from a TV shoot in Sri Lanka, Draper met President Wickremesinghe and Weerasinghe to recommend Bitcoin as a viable option for getting out of financial problems. Okay. And when he asked for the recommendation, Weerasinghe, I can't pronounce his name right. I'm sorry, Mr. Weerasinghe, believed that having Sri Lanka's own fiat currency was critical for monetary policy independence and would ensure efficient inclusion and disperse electronic welfare payments. We don't want to make the problem crisis worse by introducing Bitcoin, he said. Um, Basically, what they're said is you need need better than a billionaire to come there and talk about it. You need people who are on the ground, people who are poor, who are able to bootstrap themselves up, and then become spokespeople for Bitcoin. I interviewed Tim Draper for a Crypto Hipster podcast. It was an amazing conversation. Very smart man, very bright man. I love talking to him, and you should check out my podcast with him from April 2021 on the Crypto Hipster podcast. But besides that, what Sri Lanka is saying is that we have issues here, and we don't want to introduce Bitcoin because it's going to make more issues. They have a concern, and that needs to be addressed, but it needs to be addressed by people who they can relate to. And what they're saying is they can't relate to him. But he is a good spokesperson overall for the industry. So thank you, Mr. Draper, for your service. Thank you for talking to them, and appreciate it. And let me know your thoughts about that. So we will go to the Middle East now, and for our last bit of information, crypto projects respond to privacy coin ban in Dubai. Okay, so the Virtual Asset Regulatory Authority, VARA, recently provided a much awaited guidelines for virtual asset service providers in Dubai, UAE, which included a ban on privacy coins. This week, Tuesday, VARA released several rulebooks for VASPs, including the Virtual Assets and Related Activities Regulations 2023, in which VARA mentioned a prohibition on privacy coins. In the document, it wrote the issuance of anonymity enhanced cryptocurrencies and all VA activities related to them are prohibited in the Emirate. Cointelegraph got his thoughts on that, and then according to Khaled Moharram, who's the president of the blockchain-based payments ecosystem WadsPay MENA, the news did not come as a surprise because other regions have made similar indications. Moharram said that while more time is needed to fully assess the implications of the new development, their initial assessment shows that issuance will be banned. Okay. How are they going to respond to that? Companies there are pro regulation, but they also are pro crypto. So, it remains to be seen. So let me know your thoughts. Let me know what you think of that. Are you in Dubai? If not, when do you want to go to Dubai? And who do you know there? And how they're going to be impacted and affected? Let me know your thoughts. So with that, I want to thank you Thank you very much for listening to another episode of the X Factor with the Crypto Hipster. One final note to tell you all about is tomorrow, Saturday, February 11, I'll be publishing my latest podcast, and it's with Benjamin Gabai, and he is the co-founder and head of marketing at Crunch DAO. It's an amazing conversation, and check it out right here on the Crypto Hipster podcast. Until next week, have an amazing week, and thank you once again for joining me for another episode of the X Factor with the Crypto Hipster.